like to start out with thanking everybody for the support of these boys. This turnout here is phenomenal, and I know everybody's going to say the same thing. And one nice thing is I was with these boys all the last couple of days. They represented Ryan with pride. I think at Buffalo Wild Wings, they put in like 300 wings for us, and it was quiet. They were not phased. They went out there, represented us with class at all times. I'm going to pass the mic to Coach Q here. Coach Q, I hired him 2 years ago. He said to me, "I'm going to get you a state title." And I said, "Yeah, let's get a conference title. Let's get sectionals. Let's do this in steps here." Well, here we are 2 years later with the state title in front of us.
This is for the community of Ryder. You guys really need to give yourself a better round of applause than that. Because we've never done this before. And at the same time, we actually had the guys that wanted to go out here and do it actually for you. So again, we couldn't have got this done without the support of everybody in the community. You opened your arms to me and my family right away. And let me get a chance to actually go in there and help these guys attain something that they actually going to remember for the rest of their life. You guys are going to remember this for the rest of your life. I know I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life. And that's without a doubt. But I don't get a chance to do this without my three queens at home, because if it wasn't for them allowing me to come out here to spread all of this to these boys, they deserve just as a round of applause. Rob Stafford, if he never would have came up and asked me, "Hey man, I'm getting ready to start on the football team, and you wouldn't mind coming up here showing these guys a few things. You play ball in college a little bit, and you want to go out and actually do some things, but if you can show these guys a little things too, that'll be able to be really, really helpful to me." And that's all that it was supposed to be, just a couple days of just showing some stuff here and there. I'm serious, that's all it was supposed to be. And it turned into, me helping out with football. And I honestly don't think that at any point in time that we could have been able to mash so quickly with these guys if I didn't have that football experience. And I know that a couple of guys never played the football with me, but at the same time, a lot of the majority of the guys actually played football with me. And like I said, they knew my temperament, they knew how I am, but they know at the end of the day, if you give me 100%, I'll give you that 200% love back in return. And look what it actually turned out to be. So I thank these boys, I thank Rob, thank you so much, man, for just actually having the courage to come up and say something to me about it. And then we wouldn't have been able to do it. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And also, so having said that, when do I get my next raise? Paul wants the same thing too. And and so that turned into the point where I'm, opening up the weight room. Corey asked me, "Hey, if you don't mind opening up the weight room for all of the kids here, right?" And it's not just some of the football players that I got a chance to know. I got to know all of the kids. There was some that coming up to me, "Hey, Coach Q," and I was like, "Hey, who are you?" And it got into that point where I'm opening the weight room and letting these guys come in and just stand off the street doing dumb stuff. You can actually be in here and working your bodies out, and maybe getting to some place where we're actually getting to. And I get ready and I leave and driving all the way to get to King. I don't know if you guys know that area, I'm pretty sure you do, but I got to King and I actually turned back around because I actually left my phone. And I came back into the weight room and got the phone, and then all of a sudden, Rita Schmidt, who's the most quietest person right? She came out and said, hey, Coach Q, I heard there's a coaching position open up for baseball. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know, if it's like an assistant coach, I can definitely go ahead and try to do that. I can play baseball, you know. And I'm around these guys a lot of the time, so you never know. And I go to Corey and I asked him about it. He said, yeah, we're pulling off the ad tomorrow, but it's for the head coaching position. And what better way to learn on the job than with these dudes? So, and I told him, you know, told him and Mr. McGuire, you know, I said, look, give me 5 years, and I get us have a state championship contending team. And they was just like, you know, like Corey said, they had a little chuckle. And don't know when you chuckle, that burns something inside of me to prove you wrong. And so I said, you know, hey, just give me 5 years with these guys, and I'll get it done. And he said, we'll just take it at baby steps. Mr. McGuire was saying, you know, we just want them to be good young men. And I'm telling them, the only way they're going to be good young men is by learning how to win and bond together. And then it doesn't matter who's the best, who's the worst, who's trying. But if everybody can put a little bit of piece into the puzzle, you just never know how it's going to work out. And so I asked him that, and we actually won regionals for the first time last year. And all I wanted was like an 8-8 record and hopefully win one game in the playoffs. Because I told these guys from the beginning, we don't do 4 wins anymore. That's not in our character. You know, I got 2 beautiful daughters at home that once I go to work and get done with work, I come here. And if I'm missing that valuable time with those young ladies and mom, it's got to be for a good reason. And we're not going to sit here and waste time. You guys are going to learn how to play. You already got the skills to play, but you're going to learn to fundamentally win together as a team. Just to prove a point that you can get it done. And so after we had that sectional loss to Lake Country Lutheran, who by the way just won another state in Division III, so it's pretty cool they moved up, I guess. So, you know, we had that loss in the sectionals last year, and everybody to a man that was coming back was saying, you know, we're going to go back and we're going to win state. I wish this was a lie. I wish that I was making it up like it's a fairy tale movie, but it really wasn't. And so I said, yeah, look here, this is what we're going to do. Last year we was able to go into it, and just off of pure talent alone, we was actually able to go and surprise a lot of people who would be pretty decent in the conference, but then actually go out and win the region. Which actually woke up a lot of people, including a lot of people in the state. But I told these guys, if we're going to go and make that state championship run, we got to put in the work. There's a price that you got to pay. You know, sometimes it's going to take for you to work out. Sometimes it's going to take for you to take those extra hitting practices and just learning the game on your own. Sometimes it's going to take for you to just be throwing the ball outside of the building for a couple of hours and everybody will drive past you laughing, thinking, what are you doing? You know why? Because to get you to a moment like this, that hard work that you guys put in produced all of this out there. Look how this community is rallying now. All you had to do was the simple thing. And that was work hard. Now you're proving the point as men. So like when we get to that older stage and you actually got to go out there and get these jobs and people thinking that, you know, hey, I got to beat out a guy for this job and I'm going to put everything I got. You're going to remember this moment right here. You know why? Because all of the work that you put in to get you a state championship, and the first state championship in the school's history of any sport. That's pretty tough. So I asked my seniors, and I asked all my returning players to step it up. I wrote the letters, asked them to step it up. This is what we're going to do, this is the type of run we're going to make. I just need you guys to just step it up. This is what I need you to do. To a man, all of them, they go back and read their letters. They either met or exceeded everything that I asked them to do. And all they did was produce a state championship. I asked my seniors to step up because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, you're not going to get this chance ever again. And to be able to go out as seniors with a state championship after 2 years prior, only winning 4 games, That's something that you guys should clap amongst yourselves. Let you know how good that you did. Let you actually know how proud you are that you should have that guy as your Viking teammate. And I applaud you. Having said that, we got to this moment. Everybody did what we needed to do. I can guarantee you that Tri-County game, the first playoff game, was the game that is going to stick in our minds forever because we're down one run, down to our last strike and our last out. And I'm sitting on third base thinking, like, what am I going to say to these guys? All this that we put our work into. Setting school records, being one of the top teams in the state, going out there gold, and nobody would have ever thought that would have happened 2 years ago. What am I going to say to these guys? Noah Schmidt, he's sitting up here having the worst game I've ever seen him play. I laughed too. And he knows it himself. And what he did, came through with a blue single. That's tied up the game. Then Chaney comes up, another single, who's my captain. Clean single to the left, scored a winning run. And we exuberant, but we also had like this sad relief. And I promise you guys, I've never been as sore as I was in my life that next morning because how tense that was. Not because of the game, but because of the fact that all this hard work that we put into as a team, and all of the sacrifices that we made as a team, almost came to an end before our eyes. Just that quick. So I believe it's a blessing in disguise that you gotta have something like that to be able to have this moment like we got right now, because it's a beautiful thing. And I tell these guys all the time, make sure that you capture everything that's happening around you from this point on, from this point forward, because they deserve it. And they came out with their Tri-County win. Next thing you know, we played Wild Rose. Wild Rose was really expecting to come in and give us a run. The guy was talking to me for months and telling me, we so prepared for your team. We can't wait to beat you. All of those things. You know, he was upset that we beat him in the regionals on their home soil. That's the #1 seed. So he was ready, and he said he can't wait to play us if we got to play him in the regional championship. 15-1 later. He was actually at the game today, just because he said, I want to see what it was like to lose 15-1 to an eventual state champion. So I give him all the credit in the world for just even making that trip to come down there to support me and to support our team.
Yeah. After
playing in a high and pressure game like that. Then we go to sectionals. Lake Johnson Creek. Treasure Park now, that's all I got to say for that game. Then we played Highland, who was ranked #1 basically the majority of the season. They started their season 18-0. A very good team, very highly ranked team. We had a lot of pressure-packed moments in that game, but at the end of the day, we was able to pull it out, win that game 9-7, and go to state for the first time in school history. And these guys wasn't even excited about it really when we got on the bus, because we knew that we had 2 more to go. And we get to the state, and all this could be overwhelming, because you know, now you're at a different venue, you got a lot of people here that supporting you, you got a lot of people that's saying that we really hope you guys win, because this is such a great story, you know. And these guys go out there, play a terrific game against a really good Spring Valley team, and won that game. And after that game, these guys was on the bus. I'm telling you, I have never seen these group of dudes so quiet before in my life. And me and Paul, we were just talking about the game, and I look up and everybody's just staring and just looking. And I'm like, we're in the state championship game. I'm ready to run around and jump around and have a good time, and everybody's just sitting back and just like focusing. And we thought that was kind of weird because of the simple fact that maybe they would start thinking about, hey, we got this moment tomorrow against a good, gifted, good team. And then today, sometimes it's just take one round, but if it's just one round, what happens? You get stuff like this, correct? If this was a game that I could have just sat at home and watched on TV, I would have been happy to sit at home and watch on TV. And by the fourth or fifth inning, I was wishing I was at home watching this on TV. Because it was intense. But no matter the situation, we was able to come through. You know why we was able to come through? Because I asked you guys in the pep rally before, at any given time, if I need this community around us right now, this would be the time to do it. And those 2 days, I have to say, was the loudest I've heard on any opposing side in 2 years that I've been here. And I'm looking and I'm like, this is riot. This is how bad they wanted it. And today, before the start of the championship game, it was absolutely crazy. So to be able to have that, once again, give yourselves a hand for that, because this championship game, as much as we have to give this, so having said that, we're at this moment here, I'm just going to have my seniors come up and speak, but also, before I go, Paul Dushak, I couldn't do this without you. Yeah, this week. Brennan Carney, hey, all of a sudden you came around and brought this good luck charm. And I told you, I don't care, you're gonna have to stay from now on now. I don't know what you should have came around. So I appreciate you staying. And before I pass it off to Paul real quick, I want to say one thing quick. Ken Scott is in the audience. Ken, you found that lucky penny before we had that Deerfield game, and it was head up. And I had that in my pocket every game since. How fit that your boy was the one that caught the final out to get the state championship. Talk about the lucky penny. Now, I'm going to give it off to Paul Dushak for a second.
The first thing I want to say is how ridiculous this team is. I mean, absolutely the entire season, it was just a blast. I mean, the personality was basically the hardest thing to deal with, I can tell you that for sure. But, these guys really came through, and the one thing I would say about this team is that they really, really had each other's backs. And I've played on teams before that are cliquey, they don't fit together, some people don't talk to others. This team really had each other's backs down to the very last. This is the most fun I've ever had playing the sport of baseball. I mean, I wasn't even playing, but I got to be there with these guys, and it was just an absolute journey. Some of these seniors, I'm really happy you guys got to enjoy this experience. And to be honest with you, I really hope when you're done with college, just like Brennan, you come and visit us too, because we want you back helping these guys out next year, see what we can do.
I love you. I'm going to have one of my seniors come up, Noah Holland.
Well, first I want to say just thank you for coming out. we outnumbered everybody there. We tripled them. It was amazing. So I just want to give you a round of applause for that. Second of all, this is a lot of hard work here. So it's a lot of hard work there too. But us seniors, we got the easy part. We get to leave now. We get to sit back and watch these guys live up to the hype and continue to work hard. And I hope you achieve your goals and go out on top like we did. So thank you.
Next we have Ms. Laura Schmidt. Come on up here, Blue Eyes.
I have no words about this team. It's crazy, it's strange, but we all come together. Everyone here deserves a round of applause for helping us achieve our goals right here. I know that in every game, whether I play third or catch or pitch, any way, everyone has a bat. I don't care if they're on the bench half the time or standing in the outfield making diving plays. They all got us. Thank you all for letting me go out with a bang.
And we get to send John Lucas and DC back home to Italy for the state championship. Say a few words here.
For me, this has been like an incredible year, and before this season, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know a lot about baseball. I knew there was a ball and a bat, and I had to try to hit the ball with a bat. This was all I knew. But like this team and the coaches and Mike made me enjoy my time in baseball, and they taught me everything about baseball, and it is great for me. I didn't know anything, and from nothing to like something like this, it's unbelievable. Thank you all for this year. The community, you have such a great community, everybody, and thank you, Ryo. Thank you so much.
Co-captain Zach Zeiler.
I just want to thank all the parents, the whole communities for coming out and supporting us over the years. All the youth coaches, Tom Coca, all of them brought us up. And Coach Q, Coach Paul, bringing us all together the last couple of years. And I just love these guys, and I'm going to miss them. And I'll come back and watch you guys in a couple more of these.
Co-captain Cheney Brewer.
I'd just like to thank everyone for their support all year. I'm happy to bring the trophy back to Ryo with my team. They helped out a little bit, but yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm going to miss these guys. I mean, I enjoyed playing with them basically all my life.
I want to applaud all of our players. If you ever read in the paper, listen to the YouTubes of them when they have their interviews, I'm always impressed with how they sound, how they are respectful, even throw out some big words like exhilarating once in a while. Good job. All right, let's have the pep band give us the school song. Is going to have state champ shirts ordered. We'll be doing that through the office again, so just like we did for the state ball shirts. So if you want to get those orders, be watching. We'll have stuff on Facebook and on the website for that. Last thing, on your way out, I know it's hot here. Culver's donated us ice cream. There's ice cream on your way out. Grab some. Guys, go.